long time ago, in a galaxy far, far away.
You like me because I'm a scoundrel. There aren't enough scoundrels in your life.
I happen to like nice men.
Nice man.
Very nice.
So we actually finally get a decent story about Daisy Ridley and her experience with Star Wars. I think one of my favorite comments she made in this interview, which is not really a fluff piece, but it is how uncomfortable she was playing Rey until the final season, or until the final movie. And she's basically saying that she couldn't find many parts after The Rise of Skywalker came out, but then we had COVID, so that probably led more to her not being hired than anything else. But I am going to say this, and I want you to listen very closely. The fact of the matter is, Daisy Ridley is not a Helen Mirren. She's not a Dame Judi Dench. She's not any sort of a great British actress, okay? She's not Helena Bonham Carter. And I don't think she'll ever get to the point where she could be in the league of those ladies. See, those ladies are actresses, okay? They're intelligent. They are magnificent to see on screen. Look at Claire Foy, for crying out loud. Okay? So when you see this and you're looking at Daisy, there's something awkward about her. And from what I saw, and everybody knows The Rise of Palpatine, I saw parts of it. I scrolled through it because I didn't want to spend 2.5 hours of my life wanting to poke my eyeballs out. And that's the truth. The fact of the matter is, she never changed. The character she had was not on a character arc. Don't care what her fans say. I didn't get a sense that she had learned anything. I didn't get a sense that Rey had become the Jedi she was supposed to be. I didn't get a sense that there was a lesson to be taught about how you go about becoming something you ought to be, and how you go about getting to the end of that lesson. You know, when we met Luke Skywalker, he was a farm boy seeking adventure. He had a long road to hoe before he actually came out the other end, a competent Jedi, on his way to Grand Master Jedi. Anakin Skywalker, he never learned his lessons about his ambition. He could never control his anger. His lesson is how not to do it. And yet, you realize Anakin's path and journey isn't necessarily in this lifetime. Remember who he is. He is born of the Force. He was created by the Force as a reaction to Palpatine and Plagueis' messing around with things they should not have been, trying to manipulate midichlorians. And Anakin was going to be greater than any Jedi. He was going to be greater than any Sith Lord. he is destined to bring balance to the Force. So when you see him in Ahsoka, he's still on his journey. His journey is never completed. And in my opinion, since we didn't get really a great new beginning for Luke, Han, and Leia, their journeys are not completed. Okay? So when you're looking at Daisy's character in Rey, remember, she's an incomplete character. She's a shallow cartoon of the soon-to-be former president of Lucasfilm, Kathleen Kennedy. Okay?
For 10 long weeks, the Star Wars company labored on the suburban London sound stages, bringing to life a film that had begun as an idea with George Lucas 3 years before.
Roger, at Cornell University, they have an incredible piece of scientific equipment known as the tunneling electron microscope. Now, this microscope is so powerful that by firing electrons, you can actually see images of the atom, the infinitesimally minute building block of our universe. Roger, if I were using that microscope right now, I still wouldn't be able to locate my interest in your problem.
Dad, when are you going to stop blighting the environment with this atrocity? My God, can't you see that it wants to die? Let it go.
So the problem for Daisy is the fact that her character was uninteresting and her talent has to grow. And she's got a couple of movies coming out. One is The Young Woman in the Sea, about swimming the English Channel. And the other is called Magpie, which is actually a movie she encouraged the writer to write, I guess. And she was at the South by Southwest Film Festival conference thingy, or whatever they're doing there, to talk about it and to do PR for it. Now, if you notice, the conversation with Variety is way different than it is from trash compacting YouTube channels like Collider. They didn't ask about the Skywalker, the Rey Palpatine movie script, because there is none. Okay. And when you look at this, the body of the article that I'm going to put this Variety article in the description, when you look at the article, you get a sense that she's saying goodbye to the character, that she's putting it behind her. I also now believe that the crying about the lack of work didn't necessarily have to do with the fact that none of the Star Wars movies she was in did any good. I mean, if you look at Adam Driver, he's really, really busy. Okay? And I think he's even more overrated than she is. Okay, he's a terrible actor. However, when you look at Daisy, she, I think, suffered from the fact that, I look at these Star Wars movies she was in as bombs. Okay, once The Force Awakens came out and people realized that what TLJ was, it was a total failure. Okay, why? Because of how the original trilogy characters were treated. Because of the woke factor. Because of the fact that the writing was excruciatingly bad. Okay, people who say TLJ was a good movie or had good writing are idiots. And they know they're being intellectually dishonest. Okay, I don't have to sit there and explain that to them. But they feel that they need to defend it because it's woke. You got Vice Admiral Gender Studies, You've got Rose Tico mauling Finn, and it's just a pantheon of garbage lines, garbage scenes, the Haldo maneuver. Rogue One basically made it obvious that that could never happen. Okay. Okay. Yet, Rian Johnson literally made a movie mocking George Lucas. He literally made a movie mocking the fans. He mocked Mark Hamill. He mocked Harrison Ford by never mentioning the character that he played. It was all designed as a mean-spirited fuck you. Daisy never said to Ryan, why don't you do this? Why don't you let Mark have his way? Neither did Adam Driver. Okay? They literally just did whatever. I mean, I can't respect that. Okay? I can't respect that. Granted, Mark Hamill is probably a paid shill for the hardcore left. I mean, that's all he does anymore. Maybe it's because he can't find work. I don't know. But he deserved better. You got to treat people like human beings. Okay? And that didn't happen on Rian Johnson's Star Wars set. Okay? And it's not like Rian Johnson is 20 years old. He's in his 50s now. Okay? So I don't know what the fuck he thought he was doing. But yet, here we are. There are reasons why Daisy didn't get as many offers as she feels she should have. She was in 3 horrible movies. She cannot put butts in seats. And she's not a talented actress. I'm being very blunt. Okay? I'm sure with a few years, she could be quite capable. But when you play a character that has absolutely no growth, no reason for the fans to sympathize with her, unless, of course, they're only into validating themselves through the character there, hence why she isn't multi-layered, why she isn't on this journey. You're going to make people who are making movies not want to hire you. Okay. Now, there are characters in movies female characters, that didn't really go on a character arc, but they're there for their supporting characters. Okay. Yet, if you watch, the show 1923, Helen Mirren's Cara Dutton is on a journey. It's been a continuing journey. Okay. Every woman in that TV show is on a journey. And I say, thank God for Taylor Sheridan, who, like George Lucas, can actually write competent female characters. Okay? I don't know why. Guys write better female characters than women do. I wouldn't expect somebody like the director of Barbie to be able to write Leia Organa or Cara Dutton, or in the case of Lonesome Dove, Angelica Houston's Clara Allen. Okay, I wouldn't, because if you get to a person where she's in the middle of her journey and you understand the character, sometimes that character arc is meant to build up the character arcs of the main characters. Okay, that's fine for a female character. But if she's the central character, like Rey, why in the hell did we get a one-dimensional cartoon character who went on no journey, who never failed. Okay, this is why Daisy couldn't find work. Part of it was COVID. Part of it was she was a part of something that was atrocious in the eyes of Hollywood itself. Okay. And I wanted to make a comment on this because I do have friends who think she's quite a lovely actress, and, you know, I wish her the best too, just not as Ray. And seeing her name in the credits doesn't make me want to go see the movie. All right? And that's not me being triggered. That's me not being impressed. But hopefully down the road, she'll be able to put different diverse roles under her belt, like Judi Dench and the rest, Claire Foy, etc., and Helen Mirren, and perhaps maybe she'll end up in that rarefied air. Because right now, she's not in their league. This is Steph signing out. I'll see you around the galaxy.